Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sharing with you 5 things you didn't know about Amtrak.
We thought this would kind of be a fun video to give some tips and also see if you knew all these things about Amtrak. Some of these things you only know if you've ridden quite a bit, so if you know all these things that we say, let us know in the comments, or let us know how many of the 5 that you knew before you watched the video. So they won't all be very simple things. We're not going over easy ones like that everyone can use the observation car. We're going over a little bit harder ones to know than that. So the first one is that you can change your room by calling in after you get your room if you've booked it online.
And we just did a video recently. If you haven't seen it here on the channel, make sure to check that one out, talking about what some of the worst rooms are to get on Amtrak. And if you go check that video out and you check your ticket and you have one of those rooms, just call 1-800-USA-RAIL and they will change that room for you as long as there's somewhere to move you to.
Yeah, I will caution you though, don't wait that long, because if the price changes, now it seems like whenever we call in, they are trying to get us to pay that price, and price difference, we kind of just tell them no and then call back, and then someone eventually does it. But that's kind of a new trend. It used to be years ago, even if you called like the day before the train trip, they would just change it. So call as soon as you can if you know you want to change that room. Number 2 is, this is an interesting tip with the app when you're actually on the train. Because what happens a lot of times is Amtrak trains get delayed or they're late, and then the station stops get all messed up. So like, it's supposed to be a 15-minute station stop and they're going to cut it down to 4 minutes. And you don't really know that because they don't come around and tell you every single station stop how long they're going to be. But you really want to know, because you want to know, should I put my shoes on? We're getting close to, you know, this station. I want to go outside. And what you can do is go on the app and you can click on the status of the train, and if you put in like where you are, your train number, and where you're going, it'll tell you up to the minute how long that next stop is going to be. It'll tell you supposed to arrive at 2:30, gonna arrive at 2:35, supposed to leave at 2:50, gonna still leave at 2:50. So then you know your stop has been cut from 20 to 15 minutes. And that is pretty easily found on the app.
Yeah, that's a great hack, because you do end up a lot of the time, you know, there are delays and you're like, oh, well, I wonder how long we'll have at this one or at this one. This way you know if you're going to have enough time to hop off, or if you should just wait until the next long one.
Okay, this next one's kind of a fun one, because we've probably been on 50 Amtrak trains before we found this out. And it may not be a big deal to some of you, but it was certainly a big deal to us. We found out that you can ask for A1 sauce to be served with your flat iron steak. They actually have the bottles of it.
Yeah. This was shocking to us, because one time one of the dining car attendants said, would you like A1 or ketchup? And we looked at each other like, did she just say A1? We looked at her and we said, you said A1? We can have A1? We want A1. And she said, yeah, all the trains have it. You just have to ask for it. We were like, what? We didn't know that.
So we had been riding for years, ordering the flat iron steak and not getting the A1 sauce. Yeah. So you can ask for it. And yeah, they have it available. They have other stuff available too. You just have to know what to ask for.
Yeah, I think they also had like Tabasco sauce. I'm trying to think what else she had. Don't quote me on that one though, but I think there was Tabasco sauce. Definitely A1 though.
The bottom line here is, make friends with the dining car attendant. You ask them whatever you want. They're in the know, and they will tell you what you need to know.
Yeah.
Another thing to do with dining is that they do have extra meals on board in case of emergency.
Yes, so there are those inevitable delays on the trains, and what you think to yourself, well, what if they run out of food? You know, we're like, I mean, one time we were, what, 12 hours delayed on a train. There was a derailment, and it was a whole big thing. So we were way behind schedule, and we were well beyond all the meals that they had provided for us. And then when our room attendant came by, and he said, would you like this, this, or this? And one of the choices was something that was not already on the list. So they were kind of making up meals with what was left over from the other meals. But then he also offered us beef stew. And we were like, beef stew? Is that on the menu? He was like, oh yeah, that's like our emergency backup food. We have backup meals for situations like this. And the beef stew is one of those things that we offer.
Yeah, and as far as desserts go, if they start to run out of desserts, they will send someone to the grocery store to buy some desserts. So sometimes you will find some really like wonky desserts. If you get delayed, it can be an interesting experience as long as you don't have somewhere you need to be. Because when you start to get like 8 to 10 to 12 hours delayed, you'll see stuff on an Amtrak train that you've never seen before.
Like,
so
this is a little Debbie cake. Yeah. What is this?
Yeah,
Someone ran to the store. We've actually seen room attendants running from the train to get to the grocery store to scoop up a bunch of stuff to bring back to the train to feed the people.
Yeah, I have heard of everybody being served Wendy's because that's where they can get to. So it is different things like that. Another one that maybe you didn't know to go along with this is if you know you're going to be delayed at a station, sometimes there'll be like an ongoing problem with the train, and they'll say, all right, well, we're going to fix it when we get to Denver or something like that. Or we're going to fix it, when we get to, for us it happened, I think it was in good old Ottumwa, Iowa.
Ottumwa, Iowa.
And they said, we're going to be here for a minute because we're going to switch something out here.
Yeah, I think they were maybe switching out one of the engines for some reason. I can't remember why.
Yeah, they were. And when that happens, you can actually order food to the station. So we were on a train that was full of, I think it was Boy Scouts.
It was Boy Scouts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had like a whole train car worth of Boy Scouts in coach, but we kept running into them in the observation car.
And they decided to order a bunch of pizzas to the station.
We were like, why is there a Domino's guy at the platform? A big pile of pizzas. These teenage boys were just scooping them up and running them onto the train. I'm not gonna lie, it did smell really good as we were going by.
Yeah, I was pretty jealous.
I was thinking about being friends with them.
They thought of this, and we had not thought of this, so we were then gonna eat the beef stew, which was the backup meal for us at this point. So yeah, you can order food. You do have to time that. You can also get off. Some places there's people that sell food on the platforms, so that can be a good option for you. Mm-hmm. What you don't want to do is run into town, take too long, and then miss the train, because then you're going to have to wait till the very next day to get on the same train. They don't run every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, if you have any, first of all, did you know all of these? If you knew all of these, then comment, I knew all of these in the comments down below. If you did not, and you have one that you want to add to the list, go ahead and add those down in the comments as well. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share the video if you enjoyed it and want to share this information with others. We'll see you guys next time.